Someone said you were the goodwill ambassador for the child care center. You were introducing the children to Creighton and in turn introducing the Creighton family to our little ones. Tell me about some of your adventures with the children at the child care center.
Well, it's nice to be part of to give our child a great start in life. And it was something I enjoyed, and we enjoyed each other. Some of our adventures, we would come to Creighton, the children's called the big campus. Let's just go to the big campus. The children enjoyed meeting Father Morrison. Father Morrison would sit out front, and they would go up. First of all, he was kind of a little shady with them, but then after a while, he looked forward to the children's. A lot of our field trips and things that we would take, we parade up on campus to have Halloween parties. We would go to Kiewit Center, and just all around. The children's, I think, knew the preschools knew Creighton campus better than the students. There was adult students that was enrolled in Creighton. They enjoyed going. They found out that there was a tunnel in the Kiewit Center where you go underneath there and come out on the other side of the parking lot over there. We would go to visit some of the classrooms here. Dr. Bill Hunter invited us up to where he worked at. The children got a chance to go up there. We got a chance to go up to St. Joe Hospital and visit up there. We adventured to the dental school, just all around campus. This is what we did. And like you said, we introduced ourselves to Creighton.
Did you have Creighton visitors come to the child care center?
Oh, by all means. We had Father Gilligan, who would come down. You know, he was blind. He's blind, and he would come down and read to the children in Braille, and he would walk by the center every day. The children would look out and say, "There he is, there he is." That made him feel good. We would open the door and let them go out. And we had from different departments people that come down and read books with us, have story time. We had some of the parents who were here, and the work study psych students, and all of those would come down. We go on field trips to different places, like the Gifford Farm, to Orphan Theater, to the Rose Theater. We would go there, and just all around.
All around. A story that was shared with me is about what you did with the children during storm warnings.
We had storm warnings. You know, we did not have a storm room in that building. It was in portables. When there was a storm, public safety would always give us a warning. Public safety came down and helped us. We would always go across the street to the law school over there. And the law students over there, they would see us coming. Dr. Shagru, Dean Rayford, Eric Pearson, all of them would all come out and help us cross the street over there. They'd take us into one of the classrooms where they held court, where they practiced court, I guess we call it. They would take off their coats and things and cover the children up because we would be soaking wet. Public safety would always give us a telephone, walkie-talkie phone that we kept with us at all times. But if it had not been for the law school, I don't know what would have happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
When the warning went out, you would see them come out to help us across over there. And the children, even though they were soaked wet, but to see another adult pull off their coat to wrap them up and pick up some of the children to help cross. The toddlers held onto a rope when they would cross. The preschools, we would hold hands 2 by 2. The infants were put in a buggy, the baby bed, which had wheels on it. This is what they would do. We pushed them over, and the teachers trying to go, if you know the hill, trying to come up that hill to go over there. And the bricks that was in there, and the law students just take it just on up the hill. So we pushed them up there. This is what they would do.
What are some of your favorite memories over the years? Because you were there a long time.
My favorite memories is that the children would love to go to see Father Morrison. And Father Morrison always had a little treat for them up there. He started coming down, visit the center unannounced. So that was one of my favorite ones. And the other favorite ones was the children's taught a safety lesson to Mr. Green. George Green. Whenever we go out the building and go any place, we go in twos. The teacher were already in head with the orange vest. Mr. Green invited us up to the campus up here to a spring blowout, and he even walked down to the center himself to walk up with us. He had a partner. When we got to 24th and California Street out here, that's a traffic light. Mr. Green left his partner to go up to push the button. The children said, no, you don't do that. The teacher, you don't have an orange vest on. So that's a safety vest. So you don't do that. He said, I'm sorry. He got back in line with his partner. And I pushed the button. We crossed over. If you know, there's a fire hydrant out there. They told him again, you stop at the fire hydrant. You do not go ahead of the teacher. And some of the children put their hand out, because when I had on my own vest, I would stand out with my hands out for the cars to make sure to stop. They were protected of Mr. Green. They put their hands out so he could not go past the fire hydrant. And then they told him after everybody was across, now you may go. So that was a safety lesson for him. Public safety had really drilled in there along with the teachers that you always wait for the teacher to go across. The other fond memory that I could like to share is that in our classroom we did what we call units or themes. And one of our themes that we had, which was in February, that we talked about love and friendship. And that was around Valentine's Day. The children chose a friend from the toddler room. And we had a Valentine party. And they also made Rice Krispie bars for the toddlers for our snack. And they invited their friend into the lunchroom. And they also made a friendship quilt with their handprint on it. I'm hoping that it's still there at the center. But anyway, they made that where they shared with it. This was their friend. So, like I said, we used different themes and things, and what we would do. And like I say, to other fond memories is just coming to campus and how the children, the students here welcome the children. How the people that would look out the big windows up here and be waving, excuse me, waving to the children and everything. They were just receptive of them. And I guess we was kind of the PR, because some students, the people didn't even know that there was a child care there. And we tried to get out as much as we could to get up to let them know you have something good down on this end down here. And everybody just helped to it. But there's a lot, I could go on and on and on to tell you a lot of the good memories, how the parent and Brother Jelinek, as you know, was back in the old GMO with those tall stairs up there. And he always wanted us to come up there. When we had problems on the campus, that he would always get to us if we had a merger or something that going on. He would always get there. Father Morrison he was also exceptional to it. And they dubbed Jim Russell, they called him Dr. Jim. He was excellent to us. And when we didn't come up to campus, Father Sally would call down and say, Father, I want to know why you all haven't been up. Also, and we didn't even have to knock on the door. The children, we didn't have to, he just opened up and let us in. Also, the same way with Brother Jelinek. Like I said, he always wanted, we had to go all the way up when we had something to and you know how high those steps were. He'd take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. I'm here. And that's what we did. Like I said, those are the fun memories that I have, and the people that helped us up on, wanted us to come invite us up. Rob Dornside, who English teacher, Professor Dorns invited us up to campus to come up to visit with his class. And instead of us sitting in the back, he told us to move us up to the front of the class. And the students that he had in his class wanted to be a partner with one of the children that came up. Like I said, I could go on and on about all of the fun memories that I had.